Shalom. Hello. Hi. Um, it's a cloudy day and it's hard to wake up early right now. Um, but I recording when I can recording. And today I'm going to the hospital to get my injection against psoriasis. And I shouldn't have this injection today because my young doctor he want to make like a stop here and see what's going on in my body about the psoriasis. So he don't want to give me injection for a while at least. And even if I have told him that you can see on the side of my body that I have psoriasis, and but he want to save money in that way because it's very expensive, those injections. And so I told him that I'm going to the doctor in Israel and I can't come and tell them that I don't get treatment in Sweden. So I need to have one more injection for Israel to not show up in my body, be very sick. So he said that I should get the injection today, the last one for a while or ever. And that is like a sign for me that it's time to move. And because that injection was the one that stopped me from to move to another country because I needed that. And diabetes, that I can manage on my own by not eat any sugar and hold it on a low level. But that is the pancreas that do the diabetes, so it's still I have the diabetes even if I lower the sugar, and I have done that, and it raises more and more the diabetes in my body. So that can kill me because it make it weak in the blood vessels and heart and everything. It's not good. But that is more likely that I can get treatment in another country of diabetes. So it is the last time I get the injection. And I have, yesterday I was thinking the doctor for the skin treatment, not for skin treatment, for my pancreas, she said you are going to get a mail from us translated in English to bring with you to Israel before November the 1st. And it was just the day before, the 1st November, yesterday. It was the last day of October, and I got it yesterday. And it was very, every time I read my report, a health report, is it different each time. And this time was it also different, that it was an old school in this with pancreas, because it says that I have drinking alcoholic, and that caused my bad pancreas. And I haven't. I have not touched alcoholic since 2000. I was, and I didn't before 2000 either, because I was in the gym and do exercise, and was thinking to do health things. So I was not with my husband drinking. Sometimes a little, maybe I did, but I was not drinking, so I was drunk with him because I needed to hold the eyes on him, because he did the drugs and drinking alcoholic. So it was not me to do that, because then I couldn't hold it up in front of other people that it was okay in the family. So that it's 23 years, 24 years since I was drinking, and when I was in the United States, I have no money to drink, so I didn't drink at all in more than one day, and that was terrible. And I have told you about that. It was terrible the day after, but in my bad condition to have a hangover, I was to a woman that needed help, and God told me to lay a hand on her, and she started to walk after 15 years in the wheelchair. So the bad thing come with the good thing in that time. But I have no money to buy anything or alcoholic things or drugs. So it says that in the report now that I take with me to Israel, that I have been drinking so much alcoholic, so my pancreas have been damaged. And that is old school. It was in the old time, they say that, before they understood this with the gallstone, the gallbladder, that it can cause this problem, and that what it was for me. I have to go in emergency surgery for my gallbladder, and because it was terrible, painful, and they give me drugs to hold it back, the pain, but I couldn't, as they have to do the surgery very fast. And then when I wake up, the doctors say that they couldn't go down and x-ray inside me because it was too thick. They couldn't come down with those instruments they had for x-ray. And I'm thinking like that because the doctors say mostly is it nothing there that we have to be worried about, so it doesn't matter, like that, she said. But if she had been very careful and tried to do it, X-ray, she could have seen that I had the stones from the gallbladder, and that's why they couldn't come down and X-ray, because it was stop, and that caused my pancreas be bad. It was not alcoholic. I was drinking heavy in the beginning of the 70s, but then when I be pregnant with my son, I stopped to drink, and then I didn't drink so very much. Normal drinking, like you that drink sometimes to have this fake relax. I did that. I didn't smoke, and I didn't do drugs. I didn't have any medicine when I was young. It's the pancreas that have done it. And so in the paper it says that they assume that in the 80s I was drinking so much alcoholic, and that was not true, because I have told you in other episodes that I was pregnant the whole time, and I in the 80s, and I didn't drink when I was pregnant, so it was not in the 80s. And the last pregnancy I had was when my mother going ill and was in the mental hospital, and I was to her, and she was on her way to kill me because she didn't recognize me. She had dementia, so very hard, so that was dangerous for me to meet her, but I didn't know that she was so very bad, because I have not seen her for a while, and because of that she wanted to kill me, I be so frightened. So I was pregnant, and I lost the baby on my way home, and it was not only my mother. I was also the doctor at the hospital. He said that I could get the key to my mother's apartment, and I could sleep in her apartment when I visit the hospital, and that is a normal thing. But when I come to my mother's home and was on my way to sleep, my brother come and had my adopted sister with him, and he scared me so very much and wanted almost to kill me. But my adopted sister, you can't kill her. That's the police take us. We go in prison, she says. So she stopped him from kill me. So it was double. My mother wanted to kill me, and then my brother wanted to kill me because he thought I should steal things from the apartment that he wanted to have. And so I, on my way home, it was about 4 hours with a train. I started bleeding, and then I lost the baby. And that was the end of my pregnancy. And my mother, it was about 1987, 88, and my daughter was born 85, so it was perfect, I was thinking, that she will have a little sister or brother to play with, as she was by herself. But it didn't do this, and it was really stopped. I never got pregnant again. But in the 80s, I was pregnant the whole time, and so I didn't drink. Sometimes I could drink wine that was under, I think it was 7% alcoholic. So it was not very much I was drinking. I hold it under, and that was not when I was really pregnant. So it was in the beginning I maybe took a glass of this low alcoholic wine. And so that is very wrong. But it says that in the paper that I read what they have say. And they assume that I got my pancreas bad because drinking in the 80s, it says. And they don't know that I was in United States also homeless and have this very bad experience to be homeless for 3 years, 3.5 years. And so I sit down and I wrote to the doctor. And the doctor in Jerusalem, they have not answered me yet from what I have sent them from. I sent them for 1 month ago. Email with some scanned papers for them. And I wrote that it can happen that I never got my medical report in English translated, so I translated on my own. And I did send it, but they have not answered me. But I have seen, because I got back an automatic reply that they have received my email, but they have not answered for 1 month. And that's why one of the reasons why I short down my staying in Jerusalem, as there were no answers, so I didn't need to have so much time. And if they want me to come to the hospital, they can make the time, because I don't need to go back home to Sweden. I can be in Israel for 3 months without process the visa. Without visa I can stay 3 months, and now I don't have that medicine either, so I don't need to fly back to Sweden before 3 months. But I have no money to stay in Israel, as I don't get so much support from you that listen. I need more money if I could stay there. But I have to short down, because I have only the money for 1 month to stay at the hotel. And I had to take away I don't work anymore to get my scooter to be in Israel, because that's very much money, and that I need for the hotel, and then I have to eat food, and I have to travel some in Jerusalem, if God is telling me, or if heaven tell me to go somewhere, I need to have that money for to travel. So I have to leave the scooter at home, and I try to walk, but it's very hard because I have this arthrosis in my knees, and it sometimes it's like slippering. They say the doctor say that feeling of slippering in the knee, it's not that it's slippering, that you fall because of that, that you can run and do things with those bad knees, with arthrosis, they say, because it doesn't pop out, but it's enough that it slide on the bone. It's very bad, and I lost the balance because of that, and it's hurt very much also when it go away. But I have to do that, and I believe that God will help me in Israel, because heaven want me to go there. They told me to go there, so I have to go there, and I don't know the future, but it should be not so stressful, nervous for me if I had a little more of money. I tried to. It was the reason why the Spirit told me to store food for a long time ago, because that's what I eat now. I eat up everything I have in my freeze, everything that can go waste after a time when I am not here. And then is it also that the electricity is very expensive now, so that is good for the money to stop the refrigerator and the freeze to be on when I am in Israel, and thinking that I maybe the hospital maybe is answer me, and then they say that I'm going to stay in Israel those 3 months, and then I need to have this refrigerator and freeze closed if it's will happen. And so it I don't know the future. I know I'm going to Israel, and I have not taken the vaccine, and it can be a stop. It can be a stop already in Denmark before going somewhere else. It can be a stop in Finland when I change the airplane. It can be a stop in Israel when I am on the airport, because I don't have any vaccination. I have everything, and they can see that I have a hotel, and they can see that I have that money for the hotel to stay, but I don't have more than that. I don't have to eat and go with the taxi I have paid, and in Israel to come to the hotel, and also going back with a taxi to the airport. That I have paid, and then I have the money for the hotel. They can see that, but they maybe ask me how I should eat, or what I should do in Israel, and then I can't travel because I have no money for that. That can be a problem. But if God, if heaven want me to be in Israel, they will make sure that I am in Israel. And that is not a problem for me, because I know about this with Canada, that I have talked about when I was traveling to fly to Utah, that I was on my way to be stopped in Canada. But God make me to could fly to Utah without. I could have been stopped in Toronto, Canada airport and fly back to Sweden, but they hide things for me, did things, and I have talked about it in one episode. So if you want to hear what God did at the airport in Toronto, you should listen at that that chapter, and the part. I don't know because I'm so focused to talk about what's going on today. So I wrote to the hospital to the doctor that was not true what it says in the paper, that I was drinking alcoholic so much, and that I say that they don't know that I was away to United States for 3.5 years without any money, have no home. I have no place to live, and I didn't get any money from United States to could feed me. So, and much was going on there that I have told you about. Was on my way to be killed many times in the United States, and I don't want to because it takes for a long time to tell you everything again. So listen at those places where I say talk about this. And so I wrote that to the hospital yesterday and sent it. And I will see if it's coming some answer this week that they have got it, receive it. I know it's going very slowly with this to reply and answer me, but it started to be a long time, 1 month. But then is it also they have had in Israel much holidays, and this hospital, the doctor is Jewish. So yesterday I wrote more about God, and I told them that why I got this with the pancreas, because I was going to United States and was homeless and was scary, and I wrote about how God come and talked to me and took me away from, instead to make a suicide, he took me out from everything I had in Sweden and sent me to United States to be homeless and start over my life, start from nothing, and then up to this. I don't have any money. That is not the success, because it's not a success for God, money. It's about to be one with Him. That is success for God. It have nothing with the world to do. It have with the spiritual success to do. And I have done that. But I'm still a poor woman. Not very poor as I was when I was homeless. I have a home and I have retirement, but the retirement is very low as I was sick I started to be sick when I was in the United States, when I was 50 years old, so I couldn't work, so I got a retirement enough. So I have the lowest a person can get here in Sweden. So that's, it is a problem. But I have breakfast in the hotel, so I can survive because I think I get more than that I can eat at breakfast, because I don't eat so much. So I can save that food for lunch also, so that I can make. And then I have thinking that I can drink, I can buy bouillons, those bouillons, and place it in warm water, because I have a kitchen in the hotel room. So I can take warm water and place a bouillon. I don't know what it's called, a stock, chicken stock, and warm it up and drink that for dinner. So I can do something to hold me up if I don't have more than money to stay at the hotel and then maybe go. I have to reach the Golden Gate. That's very important. And then if the doctor wants to see me, I must have the taxi to come to the hospital. So there is some money around this traveling that I don't have. But I believe that someone nice person, someone that a spirit is here now. So he is talking to you now. He's not talking to me, he's talking to you about it. He say that there is you that listen, someone that he know, the spirit know everyone. And the spirit is saying you have repent. You have understand the sin you have done, and you should not place that money into church buildings. You need to support. I don't like when I say that, but he say you should support Eva in this for us in heaven, what we want her to do. So don't waste your money into a building, a church building, or a family church that is about their family, to not want it to work in ordinary work and do money instead, to fake a church and have their family, and some churches Eva know because she have been in those churches that they take that money for drugs. So it's not the church that we support at all, but we support Eva in everything she do today, that after I have been educated, she know to work for us, and she have worked for us in 22 years and been educated in 22 years. So it's time for you to support a real, what you call church, a real from God place. He went out from me so very hard. He was really placed into me when he was talking. So, thank you for listening. And I love you anyway. I know how hard it is to not have money. When I was homeless in the United States, I had my monthly bleeding, and I didn't even have money for anything for my bleeding. And I have to go into churches or food pantry and ask if they have, and standing in front of an old man that asked me what is it that you want from us, and then I have to say I'm bleeding. I have still my monthly bleeding, and I don't have money to buy any pads for it. And it was really embarrassing to tell a stranger, that I have the bleeding and need to stop the bleeding to be out in my clothes, in my pants. So I know how it is to be poor, and when I was in the church, I didn't have any money to give the church, so I make drawings and lay it down in the money bag for them. And if I had once I had bus token that I have got from another church, and I placed some bus token there because I didn't have any money. If I had the money, I should have placed it there, but I didn't have the money. And then in the beginning, I walk without any food in 4 days before I know how to do it in United States, because I have not been homeless in Sweden or in United States, so I didn't know how to do it. But God told me what to do, and so they teach me how to feed me in the United States without any money. So I know I have been there, as you are. And those spirits know if you have no money to support me. But in their way, you can do is to repost every episode I have make. That's the way to support me. So thank you for listening, and have a nice day or night, or when it's time for you to listen at this. And God bless you. I love you, and God loves you.